She's not flirting. She's testing you. That lip bite, a trap. That lingering gaze, a challenge. That brush of her fingers across your wrist, a setup. Every gesture you thought was sexual was psychological. Because women don't test your strength with words anymore. They use their bodies. Subtle, precise, disarming. And every time you react like it means she wants you, you fail. Not just the test, but your position in the dynamic. She's not seducing you, she's measuring you. And if you don't know what the 5 body language signs are, or what they truly mean, then she's already in control. Stay with me, because I'm about to reveal what most men never even notice until it's too late. Before we dive into these 5 signs, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button, tap like, and let me know in the comments what city you're watching from. I read every comment, and it shows me just how many men have seen these signals, but never had the words to name them until now. Now, let's get back to the story. Because what you're about to hear isn't about flirting, it's about psychological warfare. And the only way to win is to know the rules she'll never admit she's playing. The lip bite. Number 1. The lip bite. It looks innocent, maybe even sexy. She's talking. You're listening or pretending to. Then suddenly, she glances away, presses her lips together, and bites the lower one. Slowly, your brain misfires. She wants me. Wrong. What she wants is to see what you'll do next. You see, the lip bite isn't just arousal. It's a weapon, and it's sharp. It's not designed to invite you. It's designed to disrupt you. Because when a woman bites her lip, she knows exactly where your eyes will go. She's reading your reaction, your micro-expression, your breathing pattern, and she's asking herself one thing. Is this man ruled by his hunger or by his discipline? Most men fail here. They get flustered. Their voice changes. They lean in. They start flirting harder, faster, dumber, and that's the moment she knows. You're not in control. You're responsive, reactive, easy to shake. Because if a tiny piece of skin between her teeth is enough to derail your energy, what will happen when she's half naked in your apartment? Now don't get it twisted. She might be attracted to you. She might actually want you, but she's not going to hand herself over to a man who can't handle his impulses. And here's the paradox. The more you chase, the less she gives. But the more you hold frame, the more she leans in. Why? Because the lip bite isn't about sex. It's about power. It's a test to see if you'll collapse under the pressure of suggestion. You were doing fine, calm, cool, collected. But the moment she did it, you changed. And that change is what she's watching for. That flicker in your eyes. That subconscious lean forward. That twitch of your mouth as you try not to look obvious. She sees it all. And in that moment, she's not turned on. She's disappointed. So, what's the right move? Simple. Don't flinch. See it. Register it. And stay centered. Keep talking. Keep calm. Let her see that her gesture didn't move you 1 inch off your ground. And if you really want to pass with distinction, throw in a slow smile. Not seductive, not reactive, just amused. Let her wonder if you noticed and why it didn't work. Because here's what no one tells you. Attraction starts the moment you don't chase it. And respect begins the moment you prove you don't need it. The lip bite is the first doorway into that test. Walk through it wrong, and she closes every door after it. Walk through it right, and she starts opening more than you expect. The accidental touch. Number 2, the accidental touch. You're sitting next to her, maybe on a couch, maybe at a bar. The conversation is flowing, light, playful, nothing intense. Then it happens, subtle, almost too quick to notice. Her hand grazes your thigh or your forearm or the back of your neck just for a second. It's nothing, right? Wrong again. That touch wasn't casual. It wasn't careless. It was a probe. Women use physical touch not just to flirt, but to feel your frame, not your muscles, your boundaries. It's easy to think she wants more, but often she's watching how fast you lean into that moment. how greedy you become the second skin meets skin. Because here's what she's actually asking. Can he hold himself, or will he try to grab me the moment I open the door an inch? This is the touch test, and most men flunk it in under 3 seconds. She brushes your leg. You flinch. Your voice drops. Your hand immediately finds hers like a reflex. Boom. Test failed. Why? Because now she knows something very dangerous. You're chasing her energy, not leading your own. When a woman initiates physical contact, she's rarely doing it for her. She's doing it for data. She's measuring how grounded you are, how fast you react, how easily you give up leadership of the moment. It's not about consent. It's about composure. Women are biologically wired to feel safest with men who can absorb pressure without breaking. And pressure doesn't always look like confrontation. Sometimes it looks like affection. The accidental touch is one of the most effective ways to simulate that pressure because it feels innocent, but it's intensely revealing. And here's the harsh truth. The moment you chase the contact loses value. You signal need. You signal hunger. You signal lack. So what should you do? 3 words. Let it land. Let her touch you. Don't ignore it. Don't exaggerate it. Don't mirror it immediately. Let it register and keep going as if it didn't shake you. Your job isn't to return the energy. It's to anchor the moment. If she touches your wrist, stay still. If she bumps your thigh, let the contact pass. If she lingers, smile slightly. But don't move toward her. Let her feel the tension, but keep control of the direction. Because the real game here isn't physical, it's energetic. The man who can hold space when a woman pushes into it without pushing back or pulling away is the man she starts respecting on a primal level. And once respect enters the equation, desire follows fast. The hip sway. Number 3, the hip sway. You're waiting for your drink. She walks by slowly, hips leading, rhythm fluid. No words, just a glance over the shoulder and a subtle curve in her step. You watch. Of course you do. She knows that sway. It wasn't for comfort, it was for control. Because when a woman sways her hips like that, deliberate, calculated, just within your field of vision, she's not trying to get your attention, she's checking if she already owns it. This is the visual test, and it's one of the most dangerous. Why? Because it targets the most primal part of your brain. Men are hardwired to track movement, especially in the hips, because evolution told us that's where life begins. That's the signal of fertility, of sexuality, of invitation. And she knows that, not consciously maybe, but instinctively. She knows what happens when she walks past slowly enough. When her sway exaggerates just slightly, when her eyes flick back to see if yours are following. She's watching your eyes, not your words. She's looking for that glance that lasts 1 second too long, that tilt of the head, that slight parting of the lips, that inhale. And here's where most men go wrong. They track her like prey, eyes glued, posture shifting. Suddenly, she's the center of your attention and she didn't even speak. That's when she knows you're not the observer. You're the follower. She controls the visual frame. You just surrendered yours and it kills the tension instantly. Because here's the truth. Women aren't turned on by attention. They're turned on by tension. When a woman does the hip sway, she wants to feel your attention, but not own it. She wants to see if you notice and still hold frame, still lead, still control the room. So, what does passing the test look like? It's not about ignoring her. That's performative, and she can feel when you're trying too hard. It's about regulation. You let your eyes meet hers. 1 second, direct, composed. Then you look away. Not nervously, not quickly. Just enough to say, I saw. I'm not chasing. If she walks past, let her walk. If she glances back, let her feel your stillness, your groundedness. You don't fidget, you don't re-engage. You own your space while she tests the edge of hers. And if you're in conversation with her, even better. Because the real test isn't how you act when she's across the room. It's how you act when she's performing right in front of you. Does your voice change? Do your eyes drift down and never come back? Do you lean in like a boy seeking validation? Or do you stay centered, eyes steady, lips curled into the kind of smirk that says, I know the game, I just don't need to play it? That's magnetic, because now she feels seen, but not consumed, not conquered, not collapsed into. She feels tension without threat. And that's rare. The hip sway is the most primal of all the tests, because it doesn't use language or logic. It speaks to your instincts. And if you don't master those, you're not a man in control. You're just another male reacting to stimuli. So next time she walks past with that rhythm in her step, don't follow, don't chase, don't reward. Just hold frame and watch her come back to see if you're still standing exactly where she left you. The lingering eye contact number 4. The lingering eye contact. It starts subtle. You're talking, maybe laughing. The energy is light. Then it happens. Her gaze locks onto yours. Not quick, not polite, lingering. You notice. Of course you do. Every man does. But what happens next separates the boys from the men, because that look, that extra second of stillness, that's not affection. It's not even attraction. It's a scan. This is the inner frame test executed through her eyes. And it's sharper than any question she could ask you out loud, because a woman can't see your bank account, she can't see your resume, but she can see in one locked stare whether or not you doubt yourself. That's what she's searching for. Micro flinches, tiny hesitations, the crack in your frame. Most men break here not because they're weak, but because they're not used to being seen that deeply. A man who isn't grounded will avert his eyes, or worse, overcompensate. He'll hold the stare too long. He'll widen his eyes to appear confident. He'll smirk too soon or talk too fast, trying to fill the silence. He'll try to impress, joke, escalate, anything but sit in the stillness. And that's the moment she knows. You don't know who you are without her validation. The lingering eye contact is one of the most direct and intimate forms of testing because it creates immediate psychological tension. It invites no escape. There's nothing to look at, nothing to analyze, just you and her, just you. And the question behind her eyes, can you hold yourself steady while I look straight into you? The men who pass this test all have one thing in common. They don't blink. Emotionally, it's not about staring like a sociopath. It's about presence, relaxed eyes, steady energy, not frozen, not forced, just aware. And when she looks deeper, you don't dodge. You let her see what she came to see, that you're not shaken by closeness, that you're not afraid of being seen, that you don't need to shrink or perform. Because here's what women intuitively understand. A man who can maintain eye contact without losing himself is a man who won't fall apart when the relationship gets real. He won't run. He won't fawn. He won't fold the second she's him emotionally. And that's what this test is really about. Not the eyes, not the gaze, the mirror. Her eyes are just the mirror she holds up to your nervous system. So, how do you pass? Next time you feel her gaze linger, don't break. Don't rush to fill the air. Let the silence stretch. Let the connection thicken. And then smile. A small, subtle smirk. Not arrogance, not reaction, just awareness. Then calmly return to what you were doing. That moment, it lingers longer than any compliment. Because when you show her that you're unmoved, not cold, not cocky, just centered, she relaxes. She respects. She leans in because she's finally found something rare. A man who doesn't blink when she looks past the surface. The close distance shift, number 5. The close distance shift. You're standing by the bar, or maybe leaning against a wall. She steps in closer than necessary. No announcement, no invitation, just proximity. Suddenly, she's in your space. Her voice is lower. Her scent hits you before her words. Her body angles inward. You didn't move, but now she's within arm's reach. Your pulse kicks up. Your thoughts scramble. Is she into you? Is this the green light? Not so fast. This isn't a move of seduction. It's a move of calibration. She's testing your spatial leadership. You see, women are hypersensitive to energy in physical space. It's biological. It's survival. When she steps into your zone, it's not just to see if you'll kiss her. It's to see what you do with the tension. Because this is the spatial control test. And here's what she's scanning for. Do you freeze? Do you flinch? Do you immediately close the distance and invade her bubble? Or do you hold your ground and regulate the energy between you? Most men again fail here. The moment she steps closer, they lean in fast, touch her waist, whisper something slick, try to escalate physically as if it's a cue. But what they don't see is that the move was never the invitation. It was the experiment. She's measuring your ability to stay calibrated under pressure, to stay unshaken when physical closeness triggers your instinct to act. Because closeness doesn't always mean readiness. Sometimes it means curiosity. Sometimes it means tension. Sometimes it means nothing, except she wants to see what you'll do. A man who misreads this signal moves too fast. He lets the gap close, not just physically, but emotionally. He assumes permission where there was only provocation. And once he does that, she backs off. Not because he touched her, but because he couldn't feel the moment. So what's the right response? Presence. When she moves closer, let the air thicken. Don't rush. Don't retreat. Just let the new distance settle. Let her feel that you noticed but didn't flinch. Your voice stays steady, your body relaxed, your eye contact grounded. You command the space without needing to close it. And here's where the real mastery lies. You make her feel the heat without turning it into fire. You create tension without needing to relieve it. Because women don't just crave physical connection. They crave the experience of a man who can make the space between you feel electric without collapsing it. And when you show that kind of spatial intelligence, that kind of restraint, she starts leaning in for real, not to test you, but because she's drawn to the stillness you carry. Because space is more than physical, it's psychological. And the man who can control the space between bodies can lead the energy between souls. Recap. Now you've seen it. The 5 body language signs that aren't just signs. They're tests. Tests of your attention. Tests of your control. Tests of your self-possession. When everything in you wants to act, to respond, to chase. Because at the core of attraction, real attraction isn't charm. It's composure. Any man can talk smooth. Any man can flirt. But very few men can hold still in the fire of feminine tension and not melt. And that's what she's really searching for. Not a reaction, not a move, but a center that doesn't shift just because her body does. Let's recap. The lip bite, a test of your impulse control. The accidental touch, a probe for your physical boundaries. The hip sway, a visual trap for your primal focus. The lingering eye contact, a scan for your emotional frame. The close distance shift, a test of your spatial leadership. Each of these cues might look seductive, but behind them is a deeper question. Can you lead when I tempt you not to? And if you don't know how to pass these tests, here's what happens. She loses interest, but not with drama. She just fades. The energy drops. The tension vanishes. The game ends. And you never knew it even started. But if you hold frame, if you stay grounded, if you make her feel the current without ever losing the wheel, she leans in. She opens, she follows. Because women don't want to lead the emotional space. They want to feel safe enough to surrender in it. And that only happens when you stop reacting and start observing. So the next time you see her bite her lip, brush your arm, sway her hips, hold your gaze, or step into your space. Pause. Don't react. Anchor yourself. And remember, the man who can't be moved is the one who moves her the most. If this video woke something up in you, drop a like, subscribe, and comment below. Which of these 5 signs have you misread in the past? And how will you respond differently next time? I read every word, and sometimes your breakthrough starts with just one comment.